This is a movie that makes you want to dress up, so I dressed up. I know it doesn't match, but it's the best I got. Plus, too, I want to sound like that American spy that talks like this in the 1960s and talks to everybody else like this because it's his way of charming chicks. And you know what? It might just work. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Okay, I'll stop. So The Man from U.N.C.L.E. is a movie based on the TV show of the same name from the 1960s. This movie is written and directed by Guy Ritchie, so you're gonna get, what you're getting with Guy Ritchie. The dude's got a good palette of movies. He's done Snatch, he's done Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, he's done the 2 Sherlock Holmes movies. You can even throw Rock and Rolla into that equation. Still should have done Layer Cake. So this movie stars Henry Cavill. That's how you say his name. Yes, it's Henry Cavill. So it stars Henry Cavill and Armie Hammer. Henry Cavill's an American CIA agent, but he wasn't always a CIA agent. He was a criminal, but he had this particular set of skills. So the CIA is like, okay, we need him on our side. And Armie Hammer plays the Russian ex-KGB agent. They had to team up together to take down a bomb and protect an insanely beautiful, gorgeous, hot chick. Oh my god. Yeah, so you get a British guy playing an American playing a Russian. Which means I get to do my Russian accent, stupid American fascist. Oh, yet again, we are not portrayed correctly in your movies, you motherfuckers. And what I really liked about this movie, well, it's a Guy Ritchie movie, so it's stylistic. You're gonna get all your Guy Ritchie isms. You know, like the Guy Ritchie isms that you got in Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Yeah, those are all in here. But he's such a stylistic director that you can actually, still follow what's going on, unlike some other directors where you just can't follow what's going on. With Guy Ritchie, you still know what's going on. Sometimes you're confused, but then he'll go back and replay the scene and be like, okay, this is what really happened. And I like that. I like that kind of style of filming because it leaves you in suspense and then it goes back and it's like, okay, yeah, now we get it. So it's not hard to follow Guy Ritchie's style. And I thought the 2 main leads, Henry Cavill and Armie Hammer, were functional in the movie. They didn't have to be them. They could have been played by somebody else. I heard now Guy Ritchie saying that, Brad Pitt was offered the role but turned it down. Offered the role of Henry Cavill's role and turned it down, is what I should say. I mean, it's not like this movie's like, oh, Henry Cavill and Armie Hammer killed it in that movie. They're now superstars. No, Henry Cavill's already a superstar. He plays Superman. Actually does a terrible job at playing Superman. Now, that's for another day. Armie Hammer, he played the Winkle Dicks and, those 2 twins in The Social Network, and he played the lone, whatever the hell that was, the Lone Ranger. Who cares? The 2 of them are already on the map, and they had good chemistry on screen, which I liked. They bickered well back and forth together. They had really interesting dialogue between each other. They both had comedic relief elements, and sometimes there were comedic relief scenes involving the both of them in their respect when they're in a scene together. Which was cool, I like to see that, but like I said, it didn't have to be played by them. They're functional in the role, but it could have been played by anybody. Like, for instance, if you gave me Samuel L. Jackson and Morgan Freeman in this movie, I'd been like, yeah, they work too. And the insanely beautiful chick that I was talking about before, whose name I now forget, so I will put it right here. She was really good in the movie too. I saw her in Ex Machina, and she was really good in Ex Machina, and that was a really good movie, and I'm going to review that, don't worry. Her acting chops are really good. She was good at being, manipulative and, that comic relief type of character. Sometimes the girls in the movies are, when they're a comic relief character, they're, annoying. She wasn't annoying, and I like that. And the action scenes in the movie were really cool, too. The movie opens up with a badass action scene, and that's the thing with Guy Ritchie's movies. He makes the action scenes hilarious. And the action scenes in this movie are hilarious. You get one to open the movie, you get a hilarious one in the middle of the movie, then you get, the big throwdown at the end, so that one's not as hilarious, but it's still cool to watch. And Guy Ritchie, in his action scenes, especially in the second one and in the third action scene at the end of the movie, he uses this handheld camera, and I don't like handheld camera, but he and Matthew Vaughn, I feel like, are the ones who can use handheld camera well. And Guy Ritchie uses the handheld camera well. Music. The music is awesome. Usually I'm not a sucker for the music, but when I notice how good the score is, I notice it, and I picked it up in here. I'm not usually one of those kids that is like, oh my word, the score for this movie just is not my taste. The music was cool, like in all Guy Ritchie movies, and it kind of felt like Quentin Tarantino music, so it was cool in that sense. However, if you're looking for the plot, it's pretty basic plot. The plot's not groundbreaking, it's not something we've never seen before, it's something we've all seen before, and the problem with the plot in this movie is that I feel like the movie kind of tries to live too much in the 1960s. The movie has to know what its target audience is. The target audience of this movie, to me, was trying to attract fans of the 1960s TV show, so it's stuck as in the 1960s like frame, mind frame, I guess. Watching this in 2015, everything's like, we have more technology now. We're not living in Cold War America anymore. This is 2015. This is the present time. We've rolled with the times. The movie really doesn't really roll with the times. The point I'm trying to make is that I feel like it would have just been better setting this movie in the modern present day rather than the 1960s. That way we can all relate to it more. The conclusion of my review is pretty short, pretty simple, because it's a simple movie. It's your typical Guy Ritchie movie. You get the cool action, you get the cool music, you get the cool, Guy Ritchie isms, that cool style that he usually puts in all his movies. You're gonna get good acting. Guy Ritchie makes sure you get good acting. But the plot is pretty predictable, and it doesn't really roll with the times. It's still stuck in that 1960s time frame. It hasn't, I think, like I said, it would have been better if it was just set in 2015. But however, the movie is hilarious. It's fun. You can still have a fun time with this movie. I will give The Man from U.N.C.L.E. a 7.5 out of 10. It's only a 7.5 because the music is still imprinted in my mind and it's amazing. Question for you guys, what is your favorite Guy Ritchie movie? For me, I gotta go with Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. That's what introduced me to the world of Guy Ritchie. I was like, that was cool. I want some feedback, so drop me a comment in the comment section below. And for more news and reviews on movies, movie trailers, video games, and TV shows, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter. If you're on YouTube, hit the big red subscribe button, and welcome to my world.